Arteta has taken Arsenal to second place in the Premier League, and this season I think they're going to be trying to go one step better. We're going to be making Arteta's 23-24 3-2-4-1 formation to try and challenge Manchester City at the top of the Premier League. What's going on there, guys? Kempy here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video from myself, and today it's Mikel Arteta's 3-2-4-1. It's a formation which Manchester City have used in the season just gone and managed to lift the Premier League trophy with, and I think it's what Arteta is going to be going with for the 23-24 season, especially with the signings of Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. I think both of them are going to be going into the system and working very, very well. So that is what we're going to be using today. But first of all, we're going to be starting off with a Champions League final. Yes, we did manage to beat Real Madrid 3-1 in a Champions League final with Arsenal with a 3-2-4-1 formation. This tactic is an absolute banger, and you can see straight away as Odegaard on the counter-attack, finding Kai Havertz in the box in that little bit of space which he likes to occupy, and he scores for Arsenal. First goal for Real Madrid, is Vinicius Jr. finding Osimhen and then finding Rodrigo. It's a bit of a jumble around goal, but what a front three that is, Osimhen to replace Benzema. What are you saying, Real Madrid fans? Saka scoring a penalty to make it 2-1, and we're going to score a third as well, and that is going to come from Gabriel at left centre-back, finding Havertz in the hole, back into Declan Rice, into Gabriel. Gabriel finds Martinelli down the left-hand side. A fantastic ball to a breaking lines Odegaard, and he bags it home for 3-1. And if you look at the match stats as well, it wasn't that we turned up, we scored 3 goals, we got dominated. They did get a red card in the 40th minute, but you can see from sort of the XG chart and the match momentum chart, we were on top at that point anyway. Second half, complete domination, 27 shots, 12 on target, a 3.45 XG and 60% of the ball. Now, obviously, we did win the Champions League, which is absolutely fantastic. We won the Premier League as well, which is exactly what I wanted to achieve with this Arsenal team. And we won the Carabao Cup. So technically, we won a treble. Not the treble, but a treble. A 2-1 victory against United in the final got us the Carabao Cup as well. And the Premier League was a fantastic season. 27 wins, 6 draws and 5 losses. And Gabby Jesus, he may have got nearly half the goals of Erling Haaland, but he managed to obviously help us lift a trophy with Odegaard and Saka in the top of the average ratings list. Saka with the most assists, Odegaard with the joint second assists, Odegaard with the player of the matches. And Arsenal, I'm a United fan, you can tell, but are a very, very exciting side. I mean, we scored the most goals with 97. Even with a 3-2-4-1 system, we only conceded 41 goals, which I was very, very happy with. Possession-wise, we averaged 58% of the ball, just 1% behind the top boys. We had the most shots on 722, one more than Manchester City, and fewer shots against. Again, quite happy with only being down in 5th place, but the one that matters is most points per game, which is exactly what you want to see. Most goals, like I said, was Erling Haaland, Gabby Jesus in second. Most assists was Saka and Odegaard. Player of the matches, Odegaard and Saka, both joint third. Most key passes, Odegaard and Saka. Most clean sheets, we were down in 7th on that one, which is to be accepted. Most dribbles, Saka doing very well again in 5th place. Now, the formation we're going to get into in just a sec. I'm going to show it quite early on, and then we'll get into some tests with some other teams. But in terms of the data hub, we're looking at 2.55 goals per game. We're sitting just over a goal a game, which, to be honest, I sort of expected with sort of this Arsenal side. I mean, the defence, I have made a few signings, as you saw. We saw Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. I also brought in Jurriën Timber. I think he's going to go there in real life for about £30 million. And a very, very good right-sided centre-back. Obviously, they've already got Ben White, so a bit confused why they're getting a right-sided centre-back, but a very, very good player at that. And Romeo Lavia as well, I think, is another DM signing they're going to make as alongside Declan Rice, because obviously with they'll have Jorginho, Rice and Lavia, because Xhaka and Partey both look to be going out the door. So you can see I've moved both of them on, so we got all the game time, and then the rest was just sort of done by the AI. But the actual squad itself, in terms of goals scored, 37 from Gabby Jesus with 7 assists, 22 goals and 22 assists, and 27 assists, for Odegaard, 21 goals and 20 assists for Saka as well. So outrageous from them three. Kai Havertz with 19 goals, 11 assists. Martinelli, for some reason, was unregistered until about November when I realised. So he scored 7 goals and 10 assists. I did use the in-game editor, so I could register players at any time because I built it for Martinelli on that left-hand side, and he just wasn't playing. But when he did start playing, he done quite well, a 7.19 average rating. Eddie Nketiah, Didi, 7 goals and 0 assists. Jorginho doing quite well in DMs. Zinchenko doing well, 4 goals, 11 for Trossard as well. But I mean, the amount of players there with 20 plus goals and 20 plus assists, or 37 goals in Gabby Jesus' case, is fantastic. And that's what I tried to emulate with this formation. I tried to make a very strong front five of all players that link into each other and do very, very well. I don't know if we mentioned Kai Havertz there, but 19 goals and 11 assists is very, very impressive. And I've got to say, if Arsenal can get him playing right and in this sort of 3-2-4-1 system, I think he could be absolutely fantastic. We're going to start off in goal, a sweeper keeper on support with no further instructions. I've got the same back three that I used for the Man City version. 3 ball playing defenders, but the outside 2 on dribble more and stay wider. These could be wide centre backs. I mean, wide centre backs are a bit crazy. I've basically made the ball player its own wide centre back here, but we're going to go with that with dribble more and stay wider on them. I've got Declan Rice just in front as an anchor man on tackle harder, and a DM on support as well with get further forward and tackle harder. To be honest, it's probably more that way round. I think it was meant to be, but in the games that's how they played anyway. But yeah, Rice would get forward, tackle harder, and Jorginho anchor man defend, tackle harder. An inverted winger on support on the right hand side of Bukayo Saka with roam from position and tackle harder. I mean, his results were fantastic regardless of being on support, so great to see him doing absolute bits. Kai Havertz as an attacking midfielder on attack with roam from position and tackle harder, with Odegaard being the orchestrator of the whole team as an advanced playmaker on support with roam from position and tackle harder. And inside forward and attack, Martinelli on the left hand side, sit narrower and tackle harder. Again, very happy with his results. I've sort of done it in a staggered approach, so Havertz will get into this role while Saka sort of drifts into this role, and Odegaard will sit into this role while Martinelli will get into that role. So you can see how I've done that. And then a Gabby Jesus up front. I've got an advanced forward on attack with roam from position and tackle harder. I've got it as a balanced mentality, in possession with shorter passing, play out defence, low crosses, work the ball into the box, be more expressive, focus the play through the middle, a slightly higher tempo, and I've gone with the attacking width as wide as possible because we have got 2 inverted wingers, but I want them to start out wide and cut in. So that's sort of what the whole process was there. As we do stretch the pitch, these defenders can get wide as well, and then you should have this sort of middle base of these 3, White, Jorginho and Rice, where, you know, they saw it's very, very central. Obviously the 2 cams are on roam from position, so they will chop and change out of position. In transition, I've got us on counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to the centre backs, and take short kicks. In our possession, I've got it on a high press system and triggering the press much more often. I didn't prefer the sort of distribution. I kept on a standard defensive line as well. I did try it on trap inside, but it didn't quite get the results I was looking for because it had too many goals. So this is the formation we have made. I think it's a very, very good formation. And if Arsenal play this formation next season and they can master it, it will be fantastic because this midfield 4 is very, very exciting. Rice, Jorginho, Havertz, Odegaard with the wingers of Saka and Martinelli with Jesus up front. This Arsenal side could be an actual issue next year, and I think, you know, they could really, really challenge for the title if they do, you know, get Rice over the line. And obviously they've already got Havertz. So very excited to test with Arsenal and make that 3-2-4-1 tactic. Let's now go to a few more results I've done with some other teams and show you how well this formation does with some other teams, and also how well it doesn't do, because obviously it is a very attacking formation. So I have tested a few lower downsides as well to show you guys it's not going to just plug it and play with your sort of, you know, bottom half sides. I just want to say as well a massive, massive thank you to every single one of you. The support has been ridiculous recently. I mean, we've had the most views we've ever had in a 48-hour period this weekend. So thank you so, so much. Make sure you're doing all of these 4 wonderful things, following on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube second account, Sort It Out SI as well, and also the Patreon as well. We've had a few new members over there. Their names are on the screen now as well. So thank you to you absolute legends. The support literally has blown me away. I am literally mind blown at how much you guys have been supporting. So thank you so, so much. But without further ado, let's get into these tests. So we're going to start off with Everton, a side Arteta played for very much through his playing career. You can see Everton, we did come 12th position, predicted to come down in 15. So he did slightly better than you'd expect us to do. But data hub wise, we conceded way too many goals, which is expected. If you're using a team predicted to come just above the relegation zone, you're plugging in a 3-2-4-1, expect to concede lots of goals. Now, we had some pretty outrageous scorelines throughout this whole season, some 4-1s, 3-1s, 5-4s, 4-1, 5-0, 4-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-0, 4-1s. Results were crazy with this formation, with a team that aren't expected to do very well. A 6-2 win and then a 5-0 loss. So it sort of shows you the different spectrums. I mean, against a newly promoted team, you could use this formation, but go back to your solid 4-3-3. I urge you to do that because you will have quite a tough time. Now in the cup competition we did quite well, quarterfinals of the FA Cup and semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. In the league we were quite consistent. I mean, Calvert-Lewin was dominant for us this season with 29 goals and 10 assists. They brought in Oscar on loan with 14 and 4, Facundo Torres with 7 and 12, Iwobi with 7 and 3, and then it sort of falls off quite a long way. Hudson-Odoi, Dwight McNeil, Demarai Gray not quite getting the results you might expect from this formation, but you know, very, very happy with how things have gone there. Apologies for the alarm. I'm not even going to cut it out because you know what? It's an alarm. We all have them. But Everton have done decent. Not the greatest and probably to be expected. And again, a team which I expected to do sort of how we done was Rangers. Now, obviously, Celtic are very, very overpowered on this year's game. And Rangers seem to be a little bit underpowered from the rebuild I've done a few weeks back. But Rangers are obviously a top side in their team. I mean, if we're looking at the season preview, 7-2 favourites, Celtic massive favourites, and that sort of, you know, paid dividends here. But I think the key thing is here, the players aren't good enough to play a system like this. Goals were coming in from absolutely everywhere, which is great to see. But I genuinely just think that the players are not of the quality to pull off a 3-2-1 formation. So again, if you're playing in like the Belarusian First Division on a journeyman European, you might not have a great time with this formation. It is a tough formation to use, so don't expect to plug it in and it work absolute treats. I mean, again, if we go through the schedule, we're going to have some high scoring games. We're also going to get battered by Celtic, battered by PSV, batter PSV, batter Elgin, you know, 6-2 here against Inverness, 4-1 here against Nap Direct, and then a 6-1 loss to Roma and a 3-1 win against New Liverpool. So it is absolutely wild, this formation. But again, the players are not of a quality to play this for a formation. Maybe against the lower teams who want to dominate a side, feel free to go ahead and use it. But do not expect to use this tactic and dominate with a team that is not very good, regardless of what league they're in. And then a team that I actually thought done very, very well and overachieved how I thought they would do. Predicted to come in 5th position, Real Sociedad again. Arteta at the very early stages of his career was there. Only 6 points off Barcelona, 18 off Real Madrid, but they are ridiculously strong. Quarterfinals in the Europa League and come 3rd in our Champions League group. It's a little bit frustrating. But, you know, a season where we were first at some stages, dropping around in the top 3, eventually settled into this 3rd place position. Doing quite well on goals conceded, just 1.18, and again scoring lots of goals on 2.5. Mikel Oyarzabal and Umar Sadiq did absolute wonders in this formation. Where did Oyarzabal play? Because he's done fantastic off that left wing role. Obviously, we saw Martinelli not quite doing as well as that, but a player like Oyarzabal who can finish, who can dribble, who's determined. I mean, them stats are outrageous. I have never seen him this good. Wow, he looks good. But like, you know, a player like this, fantastic on their left wing role. So they're the sort of players you're looking at. Umar Sadiq doing wonders up front as well. A quick striker who can finish. Big boy as well at 6'4". You've got Mendes and Navarro and Hernandez. Lots of assists coming from David Silva. 10 assists coming from Mikel Merino as well. So some pretty decent results. In terms of team overview, we were 2nd on goal score, just 5 behind Real Madrid. And only 45 goals conceded in 5th place. Possession-wise, in 5th. 8th on fewest shots against, only 3rd on most shots for. So quite happy with how things have come out again with Real Sociedad. But, you know, again, I stress this is for top teams only. It worked very, very well with Arsenal, specifically built for Arteta's 23-24 season. But it does work with other teams as well. Just make sure you're tempering your expectations. Enjoy using the Arteta 3-2-4-1. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.